The next few days were a blur. Jungkook called, texted, waited outside her apartment like some tragic romantic lead in any rainy drama. But Vine stayed silent. Andrea naturally had opinions. If I were you, I would key his car. Andrea, okay, fine, I would at least make him sweat. But Vine didn't want pity, she wanted truth. So 5 days later, she showed up at his office unannounced. Jungkook's eyes widened when he saw her. You came? Not to forgive, but to listen. He swallowed and motioned her inside. What followed was a whirlwind of honesty about Leia and about the broken engagement, about how wine changed everything without ever meaning to. She left me, he said, voice low. I never chased her, not once, because whatever we had, it died long before she walked out. Wine sat quietly, letting the words wash over her. But I am chasing you now, because you are the one I can let go of. That night, she didn't go home. Instead, wrapped in his arms, bare skin against bare skin, whispered, Then don't ever lie to me again, because if you do, I will walk away. And he pulled her closer, kissing the top of her head. Then I will spend my life telling you nothing but the truth. Several months passed in their relationship in calmness and storms. One day, Vine stepped into Jungkook's office, arms folded across her chest. She hadn't planned to return soon, but the whispers had started again. Only this time, they weren't about her, they were about him. A secret deal, a financial irregularity, and her name tied right into the mess. Jungkook, we need to talk, she said, shutting the glass door behind her. He looked up from his laptop, eyes tired. I was hoping I would see you before the world's dead. She placed a printed email on his desk. Anonymous, no signature, but crystal clear. Check the offshore account, the one under Wine. You will find what he is hiding. Her voice was ice. Someone is trying to frame me. Jungkook's jaw clenched, and I know exactly who it is. Meanwhile, in the shadowy corner of a downtown bar, Rachel clinked glasses with a familiar platinum blonde. She doesn't belong in his world, she said. We were the ones who tried to build the place only for us. But she just fluttered her way into it. Leia smiled slowly, like a spider who would just trap a fly. And you are going to help me rip her out of it piece by piece. Back in Jungkook's mansion, Vine sat barefoot on the kitchen counter, her hair in a lacy bun, oversized hoodie hanging over one shoulder. His hoodie, actually. Jungkook handed her a cup of coffee. They are trying to drag you down because you are so close to me, he said, but I won't let them. She stared at him, skeptical. Jungkook, this scandal could ruin you. He leaned in, eyes intense. Let it. I would rather lose the company than lose you. The confession hit her harder than she expected. Do you mean that? He didn't answer. He kissed her instead, and it wasn't soft. It was full of every unsaid word, every broken rule, every consequence they didn't care about. The next morning, Vine returned to the office, this time not as Jungkook's girlfriend or former employee, but as his partner legally. Jungkook had transferred 20% share of Jeon Enterprises into her name. The office gasped. Rachel's coffee cup shattered in her hand watching the news. And Leia? She watched from the hallway, lips parting in shock. She owns part of it now? She hissed. Checkmate, darling, she said, bracing passed in a sharp blazer and stilettos. But as she entered Jungkook's office, his expression was grim. You didn't have to do it, Jungkook. I don't want any share or power. No, it's my happiness. I trust you. And you are my girlfriend. And also, you are my. Never mind. But it's not over, he said, tossing a file on the desk. Leia and Rachel, they are working together. And they have filed an anonymous complaint against me. Really? On what grounds? They are saying I gave you shares in exchange for, well, this. Wine blinked. They are accusing you of sleeping with me for power. He looked up at her, guilt pooling in his eyes. I can handle being hated, but I won't let them use you to destroy me. The next day, Vine stood in front of the Gion Enterprises board, alone, like she was determined to do something. She wore red, confidence, furry, and beneath it all, love. Let me be clear, she said, voice echoing across the boardroom. I did not sleep my way to power. I earned every second of Jungkook's trust, and my name was used in an anonymous laundering complaint to frame both of us. She slid Rachel's forged signature across the table. Here is the proof of the fake account, the blackmail, the sabotage. The room was silent. Then Jungkook entered, walking to her side. She didn't destroy my career, he said, eyes on her. She saved my soul. Rachel and Leia got exposed. The company scandal cleared slowly, and in the middle of all, Wine walked into Jungkook's office one final time. Only this time, threats, no tension, just something new in her hand. What is this? He asked. My new employment contract, she said, but only on my terms. He opened it. It read, title, co-CEO, salary equal to yours. Conditions: must kiss me every morning, challenge me every meeting, and never underestimate me again. He laughed, heart in his eyes. Deal. Now, give me some us time. He put the envelope aside and wrapped her in his arms by her waist. Hey, what are you trying to do? This is not home but your office, so behave. He pulled her towards him, which led her to crash on him forcefully. How can I behave and control myself when you are near me? Jungkook, no, stop. I said stop. He placed her on top of his desk and leaned closer towards her to kiss. Suddenly the door knocked and revealed his secretary, Mr. Lee. Sorry, sir. Wine quickly got down from the desk and adjusted her dress and pretended like nothing happened. It's fine, Mr. Lee. You can come in. Excuse me? Jungkook looked and smirked at Wine to remind her that it's not over. While walking towards her cabin, her phone buzzed with a notification sound. Looking at it, her heart rate increased like it was going to explode soon. It was a text from Jungkook. Don't leave the office until I say so. Late night at the office. The office was quiet, everyone long gone, the only light coming from his desk lamp, casting golden shadows on the walls. She stood by the window, arms crossed, trying to pretend her heart wasn't racing just from the way he looked at her. He leaned against the edge of his desk, loosening his tie, his gaze fixed on her with that usual fire, the one that made her spine tingle and her thoughts scatter. You always look at me like that, she murmured, voice low. Like what? He asked, pushing off the desk, slowly closing the distance between them. Like you are thinking things you shouldn't. He smiled, not smug, not cocky, but hungry, honest. That's because I am. She didn't step back, she didn't want to. When he finally reached her, his hand slid to her waist, fingers curling in the fabric of her blouse. Is this why you told me to stay late? Don't tell me you didn't want this. You have been driving me insane for months, he said, voice barely above a whisper, his breath hot against her skin. And then, without warning, he lifted her, strong hands firm around her waist, and placed her on the edge of his desk. Her breath hitched as he stepped between her legs, tilting her chin up with two fingers. Tell me to stop, he whispered. She couldn't. His mouth crashed onto hers, not gentle, not slow, but desperate, starved. Her hands gripped his shoulders, pulling him closer as his fingers slid up her back, bunching her blouse, learning her like he would waited a lifetime. She gasped when his lips moved to her neck, when his hands pressed against her thighs to pull her closer to the edge. Papers fluttered to the floor. The only sound was the soft thud of her heels against the dust and the raised breast they shared between the kisses. It was wild, messy, real. After hours, her breath was uneven, just rising and falling fast as he pulled her back just lightly. Enough to look at her, really look. His lips were parted, his hair mused from her fingers. Eyes dark with everything he wasn't supposed to feel for her. She swallowed hard. We shouldn't be doing this here. He rested his forehead against hers, his voice rough. I know that's the worst part. I know, but I don't care anymore. She blinked, stunned by the honesty in his voice. He wasn't teasing her this time. No cocky smoke, no sarcastic remarks, just raw, honest heat and something terrifyingly close to tenderness. His hand pressed her cheek, then slid down to her neck, his thumb gently tracing the curve of her collarbone. Do you have any idea what it's like? He whispered, spending every day pretending not to want you in the name of a promise I made to you that we will be professionals at office. Her hands curled into a fabric of his shirt. You hide well. He let out a soft laugh, breathless. That's because I had to. One touch from you, and I know I would lose every bit of control I had left. And then he kissed her again, slower this time, like he was tasting something forbidden, like this was more than lust. His mouth moved over hers with agonizing sweetness, his hands roaming with a mist of reverence and hunger, as if he was memorizing her shape. Her knees tightened around his waist, drawing him impossibly closer until she could feel the tension radiating through his entire body. She could feel it, how hard it had been for him to hold back, how much it was costing him now to stay gentle when all he wanted was to fall. He trailed kisses down her neck, then across her shoulder, as his fingers unbuttoned her blouse one agonizing button at a time. But just as his lips reached the newly exposed skin, he paused, his breath catching. I don't want this to be just a moment, he murmured against her skin. Her heart thundered. He pulled back just enough to meet her eyes, thumb stalking her lower lip. Tell me it's not just for you either. It is not. Something in him shifted, his mouth returned to hers, this time softer, slower, deeper, as if he finally believed she wanted him just as much, not just his hands or his kisses or the tension they have fought for months, but him. And in that quiet, hidden corner of the office, under the faint golden light of his desk lamp, she let him kiss her, like she was the only thing that mattered. Papers scattered, time slipped, rules forgotten. It wasn't just desire anymore. It was beginning of everything they had been afraid to admit. I love you, Wine. You lead me into a point where I cannot live without you in my life. If only I could show you how much you matters to me. You think I will leave you? No, I will never, because I love you too.